Hello everyone, this is Ross from Retro Dream Beam. I'm an eBay seller full-time. I've been doing this with my fiance Anetta for a couple years now. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Today is Monday. I feel super behind in all eBay stuff related, but I always feel like that on Monday because there's a bunch of stuff to ship out. We do go and ship out stuff on Saturdays once in a while, but it's been a long time since we've been able to do that because we've been waking up later on Saturdays. The upside of eBay is you get to kind of make your own sleep schedule, so we've been staying up later on Friday nights for like movies, TV shows, board games, other stuff. Therefore, we don't wake up early enough on Saturday for me to go get the stuff, pack it, and ship it. Plus, we've been selling slightly more this year, quantity-wise, than like last year. Maybe not numbers-wise, but the quantity of items that we've been shipping has increased a little bit, and each amount of additional item to pull from the storage unit to pack and ship takes time. But yeah, I'm going to go straight into it right now. There's like 20-something things that sold. The first thing that sold is X-Wing B-Wing miniature from the Star Wars X-Wing game right here. Where's the B-Wing? There's the B-Wing. Sorry, it's a little... There you go. It's better with the light. You've seen me sell a bunch of X-Wing stuff. This sold for $9. Yeah, it's like a game that they're not making stuff for anymore, but you can still buy the whole pieces. This is like a full-on piece with upgrade cards, with its character cards, with its style, its ship, its tokens. It's kind of cool that people, if they really like a game, and if it's old, sometimes old games aren't super expensive. They're cheap in this case. I think over many years, X-Wing stuff will become more collectible, but right now people are thinking it's a dead game, so they're just trying to get rid of it. So I find this stuff out in the wild. $9 is usually what I get for this stuff, so I have to buy it in bulk or cheap, or buy the whole army pretty cheap and explain to the person why it has to be that cheap. Alright, next up is a really cool CD. My name is Buddy, right here. There you go. Yeah, it just has like a cat on it, and there's like a whole book or something in here. Really cool art. Little mousy commander or gas pumper person. I'm not sure. There you go. Kitty and a mouse cuddling. Really cool. There's like a story with this. I don't know more about this other than I got this in a full bulk purchase of like a bunch of CDs that went in my car for $75. So I've been listing these slowly. I still have like a lot to do. It feels endless. I like to do like 5-10 a day or something and just like slowly get them going. If I want, I can sit there and do like 100 or 200, but it gets really brain melting, and then I feel like, is this the best use of time for eBay for the other stuff that I can list? It might be. I mean, they do sell occasionally. It's sold for $12. The X-Wing miniature sold for $9. This took way less time. We do like physical media. So yeah. Alright, moving on is a Blitz Pack. Blitz Pack. Oh yeah, I was like, what's a Blitz Pack? Alright, so Flesh and Blood must have had some change in the market. This is going to be, right there is going to be a sleeved, with purple dragon shield sleeves, a Blitz deck that someone made for me with like commons and uncommons, like junk basically. At the time someone super into the game was trying to teach me. I played one time. I don't remember too many of the rules. I couldn't play it right now. And then there's like some extra cards that I just had, that they had like additional sideboard cards to throw into the deck. This is cool. This is coming with the case. I'm not even sure if they know that the case is included because I wanted like a better picture with the cards in the deck. So like they'll be super happy, especially with these sleeves. They can be expensive, like what, $12-15 for Dragon Shield. So yeah, they get a bunch of sleeves there, a full deck that someone made for me. They get to play the game if they want. But yeah, there must have been some movement in the card game world with Flesh and Blood. It's a cool game. It kind of came way too late when I was already kind of like way over card games just in general mentally. The last one I played was Keyforge. I obviously played a bunch of Magic, but I got pretty bored with Magic relatively in a medium amount of time. Hello? I don't know, my other cat just went after something. What are you doing? Alright. They're usually good when I'm recording videos, but now they're trying to become part of the show. Oh yeah, so this game, going back to the Flesh and Blood, this game you pick a hero, you have like equipment on the side, which is really cool. If you played a game like Diablo, Torchlights, I don't know, Borderlands, anything where you just like equip a bunch of stuff. And then throughout the game of Flesh and Blood, I think if they ever get exhausted, they get like turned face down or sideways, and then you can't use them anymore. So you're trying to play cards to whittle down the opponent's health, but also like their armor cards. They're kind of like special abilities. Think about it that way. And yeah, you're just trying to, like, I think, lower their life points. Like I said, it's been a bit since I've played or was taught one time. But yeah, this sold for $18 for this. And then next up, a different person. So this is how I know there's movement, because I don't have that much flesh and blood. This might have been all of it. There might maybe one more left. What's her name? Azalea. She's like I think a ninja. Yeah. This is the Blitz one, so they have like young heroes and old heroes. Blitzes, you just play with less cards and it takes less time. I think it's more popular. Like I said, it's been a bit since I've heard people talk about this game. This sold for $25. I believe this was just like straight out of like a box. Like you could buy this as a little Blitz deck in stores. So yeah, when I taught that, this someone else used, and this sold for $25. Alright, coming on up is a key. There are a lot of reasons why people buy random keys. They collect them, or they're gonna like do some weird video where they found a lock somewhere in like an abandoned warehouse or something, and they're gonna try to test it, I guess. This sold for $5.99. Not a super huge winner, but I think I ended up picked up a bag of these for a couple dollars at those super thrift malls type of places. So we're gonna find kind of a lot of small things like this, and they do add up. It's not like it's gonna get you rich really quickly, but like yeah, a quarter into $6 is a lot of money for like low efforts. It's very easy to list. All right, moving on. Russian campaign board game. This one's going to be a little rough because the box is pretty rough. The pieces are fine inside. Try not to damage it. You can see this box is falling apart. Can I even do this? There you go. I'm like carefully holding all corners. All right. Even in the box of this condition, the pieces are still pretty well put in there. I see a lot of them are like unpunched. Yeah, I don't know. It's not gonna happen. I'm gonna keep this like this. I'm sorry, I can't fully show you. This sold for $22. You see us sell a lot of military stuff, especially like the board games. Avalon Hill, Bookcase Games do really well for us. They do take a bit of effort. I don't mind it. We get them cheap. All right, next up is a Hero Click. This one I actually sold a single. You've seen me sell a bunch of lots. This one I knew was a super rare. This is Hulk. Right there. I forget what set that's from. Yeah, I can't really see. This doesn't have the card, which shows what their special abilities, his special abilities do. But it's fine. You can easily look it up on like websites like HC Realms, which is HeroClicksRealms.com. You can literally like print it out, or you can just memorize the abilities and tell people. And a lot of people know a lot of the stuff. They have a lot of it memorized, even though there's a lot of figures. This sold for $7. Yeah, like the bulk lots I was selling for what, like 13, 50, 15, 11, 10, maybe 8 for bulk lots if they bought a bunch. So I am aware of which ones to pull out. I haven't found any crazy ones, but that sold for $7, and I knew to list that separately. Coming on up is, I think, a very, very old Goodwill sale. I think either I picked this up or none of this is like a activity kit. It's like a memory quilt thing. There's like fabric markers or something. Hopefully they're not like fried out at this point. Yeah, Annetta was going back and forth with someone, and I knew this was very old. I was like, hey, just take the $10 off, or like let's just get it off our hands, because like look how much space this takes in the storage unit. She wasn't too happy with the sale, but like I think we had it listed for 20, so yeah, we took half off on it. We probably paid $1 or something, 50 cents, $2 at most at a Goodwill, long time ago. This is probably like one of our first couple hundred items. So I'm happy to see it go for $10. All this stuff is plus shipping. I haven't mentioned that yet. I forgot to. I just like to save my breath forever and to say plus shipping for every item. When we do plus shipping for every item, it's just a waste of time. So yeah, this is not going like free shipping. Neither are the other items. Alright, moving on up is a CD that someone was like really hyped for. It's like a PC game. I always pick up weird PC games. This looks like a vampire one, Gothos. There's like a vampire chick and her little Goonies on the side. Yeah, this apparently had some value when I looked it up. This sold for $40. Maybe we could have gotten more. It's been a while since I listed and looked it up. It doesn't matter. They were super excited. They had to wait till like payday to pay for it, which is fine. We don't make people pay right away. It's really not a big deal. It's rare that we have to like cancel something that hasn't been paid for a while. All right. So it's good to pick up PC games. Anytime I see weird ones like that, I grab them, especially because they're usually cheap. All right, I wrote down Zombicide. Zombicide. Oh, wait. Almost came to me. Come on. There's not that much stuff in front of me. Oh, yeah, here you go. Here you go. It's because it doesn't look like Zombicide. That's a zombie miniature board game. All right, these are just a bunch of little dials, black, gray, and white, to put underneath the miniatures and zombies, probably to denote whose side they're on, or what player owns what, because there's a lot of expansions you can add together. This sold for $18.99. I got lucky with the Google reverse image. Just came with a bunch of board game bits. Someone happened to actually have like a picture of the bag straight on. Therefore, I was like, ooh, that's for Zombicide. Cool. I get to actually label it. I was almost going to do like, I knew these were bases for miniatures, so I was always going to do something like, oh, a board game miniature base. I was going to measure it out, let them know like 1 inch, 2 inch, gray, white, black, knowing where this actually came from, and getting lucky with that reverse image search. I got it sold for $18.99. Alright, next up is Streets of Fire. This, I believe, was incomplete. This is for Advanced Squad Leader. Jeez. Holy moly, I don't remember it being this heavy. I just grabbed it from the storage unit too. There's going to be like boards, bits, and pieces right there. Another one of these types of military war games by Avalon Hill. This sold for $22.50. So both the board games basically sold for $22. There you go. I don't know much about Advanced Squad Leader, but I do pick up any of the stuff. I've never played any of it, but it sells here often on our eBay channel, eBay store, and I'm showing you guys on the channel. All right, coming on up is Masquerade, like the player's handbook. I'm not sure what the policy. I probably just like the core handbook right here. This is going to be an interesting one. This is LARPing. This is live action role playing as basically vampires going around the city and stuff. Most of the pictures are actually these people maybe who made the book and what they're doing and how to play this game. On the back it says, do you want to live forever? And then there's another paragraph about the masquerade. I grabbed this stuff just because it's weird. It's by Mind's Eye Theater right here. It doesn't sell too fast or too quick, and not for too much money, but it's still, I can find it cheap. This sold for $18. I probably have more Masquerade, the Mind's Eye Theater stuff if you want to take a look at our shop down below. If you want to see like what this stuff looks like. I do take cool pictures of like the inside of like these people actually acting out different random things. It's a whole nother world, the LARPing. Never done it, but I know people do, and that sold. Alright, coming on up is also a very old listing. Anetta probably did this one, the Babysitter Club Mystery Number 9. I think I got this in like a yard sale where I just put a bunch of stuff together. I threw out the number 20 and got everything for 20. I remember there's a bunch of books that Anetta grabbed. A lot of Babysitter's Club. This sold for $9. I do have to message the person because there was like a little rip that happened in us storing it. Like, I'm not sure. It literally looks like someone like took a bite out of it or something. Super random, and I was sad that happened, so I took a closer picture, messaged them, but this does have to go out today, so hoping they'll get back to us by now, but I'd rather just ship it out and hope for the best. Like, the pages inside are very pristine, and I let the person know that they're still pristine. Alright. Coming on up is a pack of sleeves. I know which sleeves people to grab. I know a lot of people throw away the sleeves. These look like they've been used like one time or maybe never. Maybe like someone opened up 2 packs of 50 and just used 50 of them. These are like Dead Man's Hand by Legion. These ended up selling for $9.99. These are standard size, so think Magic, Pokemon. Yeah, just standard size, what the industry calls standard. Alright, $9.99 for that. I don't know if they still make these. I know Legion as a company is not around. It hasn't been around for a while. I think that's a surprise for people when I talk about it. You can look it up. Alright, next up, probably a failed purchase. We got this at a yard sale a long time ago. This is a NASCAR car. This is Alan Pulvitsky, right there, from 1993. We probably paid like $4 or $5 for this. Yeah, this one is one of the rare items that we lose money on. I'm glad to be shipping it out. And it's weird because The only thing that I updated on that listing, I had like 2 of them. I just updated the SKU into the box that it was going to go into. It was like unlabeled because we didn't label a long time ago when we started. And then I happened to bring that bin home. I was listing the CDs, like one of the ones that sold today, and updating apparently the custom SKU label pushed it out faster. We've had that for a long time, and it sold for $7.88. I guess like changing the SKU bumps it up. Who knows? Crazy theories out there about how eBay works. I'm just throwing out that it was interesting to me when I started putting stuff into that bin, changed all the stuff into the bin into labeling it, that all of a sudden it pushed out a couple of sales from said bin. Alright, the next one is a Red Heart chair right here. I need to switch the light. Alright, this is by a company I think like Raine, R-A-I-N-E, Vinny, I don't know, I'm not sure. I was selling those little like shoes. I sold more of these dollhouse miniature like couches and chairs. This is like a really cool red one. Someone's gonna appreciate this. This is like really good quality material. I'm not sure if it's like ceramic, but it seems really durable. This sold for $14.40. So miniatures of all kinds, even dollhouse stuff, sell. We got that for free from Aneta's mom. A little dusty. Yeah, Nana's mom gave us a big bin of these, like, just for you shoes, collectible shoes, and I happened to have some dollhouse miniature stuff, so those have been selling. I've been getting a good price for them, and I listed the whole bin, so there you go. So the profits are rolling in from those. It's nice. Alright, coming on up is another board game. The Cossacks are coming, or Cossacks, I'm not sure. This one I believe is complete. This one's, you can tell, is in, like, relatively good condition. This is not Avalon Hill. It's going to be something random. People's War Games. There you go. There's the back. Alright, this one sold for $32. Alright, next up is some metal miniatures right here. These are little infantry. They're labeled US 1, code 6A, figures, armor, artillery. It's the company. Right, yeah, I just took close-ups of the figures, the package, the company brand. I don't know too much about them, but I always grab up metal miniatures when I find them because we do really well with them. I feel like we have a lot of people following the shop that purchase them because we found a bunch and have sold a bunch. So like people are keeping an eye out on what we're selling. This sold for $16. I actually made a note that this, of all the items, is from a repeat buyer. So yeah, like I said, someone's been keeping an eye out on the metal miniatures that I list. Alright, next up is another X-Wing figure. Already talked a little bit about it. This is the TIE Wing, or the TIE Fighter right there. This has everything. It might be missing like one token. People are still playing the game. This one sold for a little bit more because you need more TIE Fighters, because you like amass them in groups and they're low point value. The game is based on point values. You have so many points going into a battle. And then for like the junkier ships, you get to wield more of them on the field. This sold for $12.15. Alright, moving on up is 2 Warhammer disc acrylic promos, I think from like summer 2014 when I was like listing them. It's really hard to see. Right there. They just have like little numbers on it, like 1 through 4, I think. And they bought 2 batches of these. They look nicer in person rather than on camera. These sold as a combo order for $19.44 together. So yeah, I think I only had 2 lots. Yeah, I think it was by Fantasy Flight Games, maybe. Disc Wars, I think I'm going to have another sale for Disc Wars, but I think a different category than the Warhammer one. Was basically, I think you had these big cardboard collectible discs, like big ones, small ones, and there was like going to be some movement and combat. I'm not sure if it uses dice, it probably does. These are just going to be cooler tokens for them rather than the cardboard-based tokens. So people always love to promofy their games. Promofy, not a real word, but they like to add promos. They like to upgrade their accessories, their components, all across the board for any tabletop game. Alright, moving on up is something that we got at an estate sale. I think we actually paid $35 for everything at this estate sale. These are cool little Halloween ornaments, like little ornaments for a tree or just to hang around, or maybe, I don't know, if you wash them off, put them in a cake decoration, I don't know. what they're gonna use them for. This sold for $13.75. So yeah, it's cool. It's like I'm sure we've sold other stuff from that particular state sale. I just happened to remember where it came from, and yeah, it was like $35. They were really nice to us. All right, moving on up is some bookmarks. Are some bookmarks. These are by Rigo Louis. I'm not sure. I can't say the name properly. They're good quality. They're like die cuts. They have a little like information on the back about the company. It's a little like cabin in the background with the lake. There's autumn leaves on the top and bottom. These are legit bookmarks. They're gonna pop out. I'm not gonna pop out the person's bookmarks. These sold for $7.50. I think I know they got these somewhere, maybe at thrifting somewhere. Who knows? Or yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure like a thrift, maybe like a thrifting supermarket. I forget the official name for those places. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank right now, but you go in and there's a bunch of people with their booths. We go there once in a while. It's overwhelming for me, but she loves it. There's way too much stuff there. I know there's profit to be had, and I have found some stuff. It's just a lot to go through. And you have to find like the right booth with the right price, because these are people that pay to have booths there, so they're trying to flip it themselves. So you're flipping on someone that's aware and they're trying to flip, so you have to find someone that doesn't know about the items that they have, or that they don't care. They're like, oh, bookmark paper, throw a bunch of stuff in a bag for $1. That's the stuff you have to look for. All right, if you're trying to flip at one of those thrifting supermarkets. All right, coming on up is Kriegspiel, yet another board game. I didn't realize how many board games sold. Just like quickly grabbed items. I guess it took me like almost an hour to grab them from the storage unit. Kriegspiel here. This is probably like the third or fourth one we sold. This is complete. This box is actually nicer than the other ones I sent. That's why I got a little bit more for it. $20 for that. Yeah, I'm not sure what sparked this game selling a bunch. Maybe we're the ones that have the most amount of listings, or like someone else sold out that had a bunch and now we're up next. Who knows? Yeah, maybe the company talked about the game, or it's getting a remake. I haven't looked too far into it, but usually when I have one thing in a bunch of shelves, even if it's only a couple, I know there was movement in that particular item or area. Just like I was talking about the Flesh and Blood cards that I had for a long time, and then boom, 2 sets sell. Alright, next up is Star Wars Destiny's promo tokens. This is going to be for Star Wars Destiny's, which is a collectible dice game. They don't make it anymore. Yeah, these are like blue Stormtrooper tokens. I don't remember. I think someone tried to teach me a demo one time, and I think I was just too busy at work to be able to like focus on it. Yeah, so these sold for $4.49. So yeah, sorry, I jumped right there. I lost my train of thought. Yeah, so I don't know much like what these are for, but I do know that people like to upgrade their components. I was like talking about earlier. So when I saw them, I knew that they were going to be for a game. I could tell that they were Fantasy Flight. Fantasy Flight did a lot of these promo acrylic tokens for their board games, card games, collectible games, living card games. They did all these promos. All right. Moving on up is Master Mold for $50 right here. This is a sealed HeroClix Colossal figure. One of my favorite X-Men characters. I used to be into X-Men. I'm not really into Marvel, DC, anything like that anymore. Kind of lost its novelty a bit ago for me. But this particular character was cool because he would spit out and create sentinels, and he was like sitting in the background in some warehouse where other villains try to keep him alive. This one, Annette and I are confused if we made money or not on it. I think we lost money. We bought this at a Gen Con convention. I think I paid $65 for it, but she goes, there's no way I would have let you gamble $65 on some HeroClix junk. Her words, not mine. I mean, HeroClix do kind of look like a little janky if you're unaware, if you don't look up at the pieces up close. They do look like from far away, just like little action figures of low quality. They've gotten better over time. But yeah, she was like, "There's no way I was gonna let you gamble on that." So I was like, if not 65, 35. Like, I feel like I did pay. Like, we lost money. We sold it for $50. I'm just rambling at this point. We're unsure. It's kind of like a weird rabbit hole to go down to try to like Google and Reddit to figure out like if someone took a picture of all the prices at that particular convention. I don't remember which one at this point. So yeah, maybe a loss on this. It is kind of really rare for us to lose money, but honestly, it's okay. HeroClix figures, I talked about this before, where the older the figure is, usually, if it's not a powerhouse figure and have good abilities, the price of it goes down. Where like other collectibles, old stuff, the price usually goes up in the older stuff because you can't find it anymore. It's weird. I've been observing it for a while. I kind of want to buy a bunch of junky old hero clicks, like sealed and not sealed, just to see what happens. Because I think it's really weird that almost every other collectible respects the old stuff, and hero clicks like I feel like takes a dump on it and just goes like you can buy the older stuff really cheap generally, as long as it's not super rare or like actually still a good piece, because there's been power creep in the game. So the newer figures are better than the older ones, but I don't know, there's different like formats and things change and people change and they get nostalgic. So we'll see. So like all of that I'm talking about is now that this is many years old, probably like 4 or 5. I'm okay with taking 50 because it's not gonna. I wanted to sell it for like 100, 150, 175. All the other HeroClix promos I got sold really well, double or triple when we bought them. This one, not so much, or we're unsure. So $50 for this one. All right, moving on to Disc Wars. Right here, this is Farangast Undead Army set. So I can't tell like what realm this is. It looks like generic fantasy. Obviously, there's like undead. It's hard to see. There's gonna be it's hard to see even for me. Yeah, it says Fantasy Flight Games. Maybe this is part of Warhammer 40k. I'm not sure. I have a bunch of Disc Wars stuff. I think I have a bunch of Legend of the Five Rings Disc Wars things. So maybe they're just like different genres that you can combine together. Kind of like how HeroClix, you can do Indie, Marvel, DC. Technically, I think there's like Mage Knight. There's a bunch of Ninja Turtles. You can combine them all. So maybe that's how Disc Wars is. This is a sealed, unpunched pack. Well, it's unpunched. I opened it up, took pictures of like what they're gonna get. It wasn't sealed. It just had someone maybe opened it up, didn't want them, and that's how I got it for cheap. But this sold for $14.40. So I'm good with that. Alright, and then coming up is the last thing for the day. I'm looking around. Yep, last thing. This is a lot of 3 RPG books. This one up here is The Mother of Toads. I think they were all by the same person. They're kind of like these creepy-ish, I guess not RPG, just like sci-fi books. Yeah, this one's like a dude that falls in love with a toad and then ends up becoming one. Really weird stuff. There's 2 other weird ones in here, but I already have it packaged up, so I can't show you. This sold for $19. All right, that was everything for the weekend. This was kind of like a lower quantity-wise for the weekend, and dollar-wise, I'll have to look into it, but I can tell this was probably a weaker one than our past few weekends, which kind of sucks, but there is 4th of July around the corner. A lot of people probably celebrated this weekend, and they're probably going to celebrate, like we're going to probably see some fireworks either Wednesday or Thursday. Yeah, people are out there outside doing stuff rather than sitting in and buying stuff, so I'm still thankful that we got a good amount of sales, but yeah, definitely lower than normal. I think our Saturday was like really, really low, probably one of the lowest of like all time I've seen in a while. I don't like super keep track, but I do look every few days. I'll go onto the performance page and look at the days compared to last year, just to keep an eye out on it, making sure that doing eBay is worth it and that we are not wasting our time. But yeah, please don't forget to like the video, like I said earlier, and subscribe to the channel. Everyone have a good week. Thanks.